Hey guys, I just wanted to do a third video to sort of join my first two together because there's just always stuff that I keep forgetting to say that might help. So it is April now, 2017. I'm not sure how long ago I posted the last video, but at the time I was attending a church. I'd just found a church after struggling with trying to choose between two. I found one through a friend. We connected through an old boyfriend, and that's how I ended up going to her church. And yeah, everything was great. Like, I met a lot of amazing people and I got along well with everybody. I was going to Bible studies, pretty much just like everything you think you're meant to start doing when you find Jesus. That's what I was doing. Like, I was just trying to put my whole heart and soul into it. And so I think maybe just before Christmas, I don't know, something, I just got this feeling that like I wasn't meant to be there. Like, I wasn't going to learn what I needed to learn being in there. And I don't know how to explain it. Like, it wasn't this like evil thought like trying to lure me out of the churches. I feel like maybe I was being lured into the church with a fresh, innocent mind to just go in there and accept anything that was being told to me. And it's hard because I'm not like putting down every church. Like, I think it's so great to have the one place where a community of believers are joining up and talking about Jesus and worshipping and praising him and praying and deliverance and all of that. I think in America mostly the churches are so corrupt, but Australia is a few years behind America, but I feel like it's pretty much caught up with them. And so what I feel like I was being told was that what separates a Christian from a non-Christian or an unbeliever is their ultimate faith in Jesus. And I noticed that all these Christians that go to all these different churches, there's all these denominations and all these things that separate each church from each other, and they all believe in one certain thing, like, and then they focus on that. And we've got all these people that say they believe in Jesus and that Jesus is their Lord, but then they're so separated by their denomination. So I felt like me going to church, and it was a Pentecostal church, so they focus a lot on spiritual gifts like speaking in tongues and prophecy and miracles and healings and stuff like that. And what I feel like Satan is smart. Like, we're in 2017, this isn't the beginning of time. Like, he's had time to watch people and to learn from them and to watch how we behave and what we are drawn to. And what I feel like I was being shown was to sort of look at it from the opposite perspective and to put myself in Satan's shoes. If I had all that power to rule the earth and to deceive people, how would I do it? And it's like, so an example would be like, this is a horrible example, but say like a pedophile wants to be close to children. How do they do it? You know, they get into kindergartens or school systems or even the church, like the Catholic Church, and they pretend to be these people to get closer to their target. So one way I feel like Satan can get to us is by being in the church itself and even preaching. So I feel like I was being shown through an innocent way how he's perverted that innocence, how he's perverted the things that we are meant to be doing, but he's already gotten hold of them, sort of, if that makes sense. So by December of last year, I decided to leave the church, not because I didn't respect the people there, it's not because I didn't respect their level of love and caring for other people, but I just felt like I needed to learn this on my own. I don't want to be taught by man, I want to be taught by Jesus himself. I want a pure relationship with him and him teaching me and the Bible teaching me. I still read the KJV. I have had a look at other translations. I've looked at NASB, NIV. I've even had a look at the Jewish one, Complete Jewish Bible. But I just keep coming back to KJV, and even though it might take another minute or so to grasp what the sentence is saying, I just feel like, I don't know, I'm just drawn to that Bible. I like that one, and so I'm going to stick with that one. So while this was all happening in December and it's now April, you can imagine the struggle I've had with, do I go back? Am I being deceived by an evil spirit that's trying to take me away from the church, or is it Jesus leading me into a deeper understanding? Like the Bible says that the believers themselves are the church. We are combined, we are the church. And I bet there are some amazing holy churches out there that are really teaching all the right doctrines, but just from what I've experienced, the churches that I was involving myself in, not necessarily were prosperity gospels and prosperity sermons, but I feel like we're in the end times, and to beat what's happening in the end times, we have to know how the enemy works, and I wasn't learning that. And so I feel like, yes, in a way, I might be judging them not righteously. I might be completely wrong, but I feel like I've learnt the most after I left the place. I feel like I spend more time with God now that I've left. And really the only struggle is my own temptations. And I was just watching this thing on Three Hearts Church, this online ministry that I watch a lot. Everything is God, and what our lives are filled with is just distraction from God. And what I battle daily is just being distracted from him in the most simple ways that you wouldn't even think, just through music, being social with people, because being social always involves, most of the time, alcohol and cigarettes and drugs and music, and those are the things that drag me away from him. So I have been a little bit antisocial again. I feel like I've always been that way, but I learned so much when I just focus on the one subject. One confirmation that I got, I believe, because I prayed on this like a million times, and I've asked Jesus to please confirm to me that I'm making the right decision. And about a week ago, I found this girl. She posted the video in like 2014, so it's been a few years. She was just going through something so similar to me. She'd found Jesus and started attending a church and Bible study and sort of going through the motions of what you go through when you're a new born again Christian. And then she started getting the same thoughts, that she wasn't learning what she needed to learn while she was there, and she made the decision to leave and thought that she was the only one going through this. And I was just captivated by her video, because she was just explaining everything that I was feeling, that I am feeling now, that I need to walk with God alone. I need Him to show me Himself. And just because I'm little old me in 2017, it doesn't mean that He's not right next to me, walking with me and teaching me. I don't think going to church is a salvation issue at all. I mean, it can bring you closer to believers, but I just had to leave. I don't want to be drawn to men's doctrines. I need to be shown by Him. And if I can explain like my early childhood up until now, I feel like that's what He's been doing the whole time. I feel like He has been showing me and leading me to Him on His own without the help of anybody else. The movies that I was drawn to, the things that I would watch, they'd be used to brainwash other people, but I could always see the pure message behind it. I feel like what we need to know from our hearts is that God is love and He loves us, and that is the ultimate lesson, is to love your neighbor as yourself, which is like the hardest thing to do, because people test you and challenge you every day, and it takes all your strength to not fight them back. And He's been showing me through my own daily experiences like that that's what I need to do. And while that's so important, now I feel like, well, that should be the foundation of my learning. I have other things that I need to learn about how Satan and his army are going to try to beat us. You can't beat your enemy if you don't know what they're going to do against you. You have to know how they think. And basically they use your own senses against you. They poison your mind with the music and the TV and the things that you listen to, even the school and education system. They poison you with your temptations. Like, everything that is bad for you always looks attractive and beautiful to begin with, and enticing. Like, it seems harmless to just go to a friend's party or to go to a club with friends, but that's what's gonna get everybody. And the whole coming together with the New World Order and the One World Religion. They're trying to make every religion coexist together, and it's not going to work. Like, Australia is a multicultural country, and another thing I was watching that just makes sense to me is that East and West don't mix together. They're two completely different cultures, and they're trying to mesh us together, and we don't think the same, we don't act the same, we don't believe the same. I've learnt so much just through my own study of reading the Bible. So much has been revealed to me in just that alone, and my praying, that church didn't do for me, and that man can't do for me, and that people can't do for me. Maybe I will find the right church one day where I can be with pure Christians, the real Christians of the world, the people that their heart is so for Jesus. Because I feel alone in that as well. Like, it's all I think about. From the minute I wake up till I go to sleep, it's all I think about. I don't know what else to say. I just felt like I had to do another video. I guess I could talk about how I could have been drawn to the other side, but instead it's cool because Satan perverts everything and tries to twist everything pure around to make it perverted and ugly. But what God does is uses your own weaknesses to strengthen you, and uses the bad situations in your life to make you stronger. And I can see how he's done that just in my life. Like, I think in primary school I was really into like witchcraft and magic and spells. I had heaps of spell books. I had heaps of I never did Ouija boards or anything like that, but I'd always be saying little love spells here and there, and watching like witch shows. Like Charmed was like my life, and even though I can see how perverted that show was, I've seen so many like false gods in it, false idols. I've seen how Satan is in all of these things now just from watching that show, and it's like if I didn't watch it I wouldn't have known that now. And like, from the interest in witchcraft and spells and spirituality and New Age, because I started studying New Age, I started studying metaphysics and was into crystal healing and meditation. I would heavily meditate every day. I don't think I astral projected any time, but there was one time when I was falling asleep and I could feel like my body floating above my body. Like, it was really strange, but I got scared and it came back into me, and I don't know what that's called, but that happened to me. And like, through studying all of that, it all teaches you about like a combination of different gods. Like, I remember in my metaphysics learning book, like there was different ascended masters, and like even I think there was one called Christ consciousness. Like, that's when I first started thinking, like, who is this Jesus Christ person? And like, it all teaches you to master your own self and to become your own God. And if you think about like Adam and Eve, Satan tempted Eve and basically said, if you eat the forbidden fruit, you'll become like a god. You'll become like God. and in being empowering yourself and stuff like that. And that's just like, he's just using the same old tricks in the future. Like, we haven't really got that smarter. We've been falling for the same thing time after time after time. Like, he's smart, he's crafty, but like, I was just so woken up through my own mistakes and my own believing of all of that. I was twisted around and saw it from the whole different perspective and saw how perverted it all is, and like how much they sexualize things and they want to make you feel like being naked is cool, and like all this sexuality is just put in your face. And like every day we're just like, when you go in the shopping center and stuff and all you see is just like huge posters of like women in their underwear, like, and oh yeah, it's just, you can just see it now. Like, I can just see how perverted it was, and I thought I was being enlightened and moving into different, like, higher aspects of myself, and it's just such a deception. I don't know, I'm not like making this video so people leave the church. I'm just saying, I feel like you have to be alone for a while with God on your own to learn your own journey, because everyone is so uniquely made. And if I'm not quite sure what my mission is yet, but I know that I'm heavily separated from everybody, and the way I think is so controversial. And I'm not in any way comparing myself to Jesus, but he was going through the same thing. Like, his own people were like disgusted in him and couldn't understand where he was coming from and killed him basically. I have no other advice except for to pray, 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 pray from your heart. Really sincerely pray for truth, understanding, spiritual discernment and protection, that you be not deceived. Everything's so obvious to me now. Every moment of my life I can see where the deception is tricking other people, and like, it's hard being in a family where your mum and dad and brother and sisters or whatever, like, they look at you like, isn't she cute, little Christian, she loves Jesus, but like, they don't get it. They don't get it. And I feel like everyone around me is going to hell, and it sounds so evil and conceited, and like, who knows, maybe I won't even make it. Like, we are all sinners. But I just want to scream out to everybody every day, like, wake up, wake up. Even the people in the church just need to wake up. Like, some people were talking about like Joel Osteen, or Joel Osteen, apparently his name is now, but I always remember it as Joel Osteen. And they have no idea how deceiving he is, and he's, or Joyce Myers, whatever the other ones, and you will know a Christian by their fruits. And how are we separated as Christians from the world if we are acting exactly like the world, if we're still going out and drinking and partying and doing all these things and just saying like we're saved by grace and because Jesus was our sacrifice? Like, we're just the same as the world. Like, these Christians that say they're Christians are just the same as the world. And it's like, I don't even know if they're reading their Bibles. Like, how can they not see what's happening? Like, we're already fulfilling the prophecy of the end times. We're like doing it to ourselves. I don't know if any of this will make sense to anybody, but I just don't want you to all fall for the trap. We're in a huge spiritual war, and it's everywhere. The evil is spread in this world and made itself look like lollipops and sunshine. I guess I'm not really alone. Like, I'm so much stronger now. Like, I fail every day, obviously. In some way I fail, in some way I sin, I'm sure of it. But God, Jesus, is my strength. He is greater than any evil in this world. And I'm not scared. I'm worried. I'm worried for what awaits me and everybody else, but I feel free. I feel trapped in a way because I'm trapped in this world, but I feel free in here. I just don't know how to explain it to everybody, but I'm okay now. He's been with me the whole time. I know he has been with me the whole time. I'm gonna pray for everybody after this video finishes that it can, I don't know, it can help someone. Maybe to be easier to explain more of my story if I got specific questions. I kind of just go off and on with different parts of the story or different thoughts. But God is real, and so is Satan. And there are two sides, and you cannot sit on the fence, you must choose one. And it's not God who sends you to hell, it'll be yourself. And this life seems like it's a long time, 70, 80 years of your existence, but there's more. You can have more. I will try and make another video again. I think that's about it. I can't wait to meet some true Christians, some real spiritual warriors. I can't wait to be connected with my people, with my family. So yeah, that's it. God bless.